Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be doing my first official video on this channel, Shooting the Bobo with Fed Phoenix. For those of you who don't know, shooting the bobo is like a slang term. Shooting the bobo, shucking and jiving. It's just when you're relaxed and kicking it. Just talking about different things, whatever comes to mind. So, it's a very casual way to interact in conversation. So, with that being said, this will be the first video. It's called Mind Your Business. And it's about minding your own business because a lot of people don't understand what that means. And this, I'm going to give y'all a little story that really puts it in perspective that I often use as an example when I advise people to mind their own business. So buckle up. Here we go. So when I say mind your business, I know what you're immediately thinking. Don't be rubbernecking on the neighbors when they're having a domestic. Personally, I do that. Don't be telling other people's, personal things, which that I do not do. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm very, very, very good at keeping a secret, playing dumb, and keep my mouth shut. So that's probably, like a good 15% of the reason why the people who do like me happen to like me. But anyway, as far as personality goes. So the story I'm going to give y'all about minding y'all's business is real simple and brief, and I think it really illustrates things. So I had a friend, right? And at her job, she got reprimanded. She did something improperly, and she was reprimanded by her supervisor. Okay, normal scenario. A lot of us have dealt with before. But she comes to me as her friend, and she's very upset, and she's like, "This is not fair. This is ridiculous. I did this small thing and got in all this trouble, but there are people who do way worse all day, every day, never get reprimanded. Some of these people are sleeping with the supervisor even, and they just get away with murder. They don't even do their jobs. They just show up if they show up. And my advice to her was, mind your business. It's not your business who's sleeping with the boss. It's not your business what other people get away with. It's not your business. And to say that anything isn't fair as an adult, yes, that can be a source of legitimate frustration. But for that to assume that counts for anything other than dang, that's frustrating is just kind of silly, because we all know as adults life is not going to be fair the majority of the time. But I told her, I said, what is your business is what your job entails. You know what your responsibilities are while you're on the clock. And you failed to meet them. And you failed to meet them knowing the potential repercussions, and therefore you got those repercussions. That is what's your business in that scenario. Not all that extra, if you want to have water cooler gossip, with your work friends or your work spouse, I'm not knocking it. Live your life, enjoy yourself. But don't think for 2 seconds that because, life isn't fair, or because someone else got to pass on something, that you're now entitled to it, because you're not. You got to mind your own business. It's like all those memes you see where there's like a kid playing on a swing while a house is burning down behind them, or the guy that's doing a little dance video while someone's getting beat up by a cop, 10 feet away. And it's, they always say, this is, the level of minding my own business, I'm on, or I'm trying to be on. And I definitely am a huge fan of minding my own business. I cannot tell you how often in day-to-day life, and I think a lot of people just don't even come to me with the nonsense no more. People have said, oh, such and such said this, or such and such did that. 9 times out of 10, my reaction is just, oh, that's wild. Oh, that's crazy. And it doesn't, and on my end, whatever it is, this frivolous information doesn't get pushed any further. I don't go repeating this to other folks. And, because it's not my business. And even if they say, well, I heard this about you. Okay. What'd you say? What did you say when they were talking crazy about me? Because at the end of the day, the fact that people are going to gossip is nothing new under the sun. And it's nothing to really lose. If you're not losing money over it, or it's not putting your safety in jeopardy or your freedom in jeopardy, it really just doesn't matter in day-to-day life. It's a pointless thing to get worked up about, or get distracted on whatever it is you're trying to do in your daily life by. You know what I mean? But what is my business, what does concern me a little bit, is as my friend, as a person who's at least pretending to be my friend, coming to me with this stuff, what did you say when crazy stuff was said about me? Because, see, if someone comes to me and says someone said something, whatever, about me, I say, oh, that's wild, oh, that's crazy. If someone comes to me and says something about someone else, oh, I heard your friend such and such did this or said that, or I heard this person we both know said or did whatever. I'm always just like, wow, or that's wild, or ooh, that's crazy. Um, but that's kind of where I leave it. You're never going to be able to come to me with some random gossip about somebody, a random, and be able to go back to that person and be like, well, people were saying X, Y, and Z about you, but then Fed Phoenix, she also said da da da. No, all you're gonna be able to say is, I said, wow, that's crazy, wow, that's wild, or oh, But my response is gonna be fairly neutral. Now, if you come to me as my friend and say I was the topic of conversation, the only thing that really concerns me at that point is, what did you say or do as my friend? Because here's the thing: if you come to me about one of my actual friends, someone who's in my very small circle of people that I truly associate with and care about, and you say something crazy, I'm going to check you on it. And not because I'm some big tough whatever, but just because this is how I operate, and this is the level of integrity that I have and that I strive to maintain. So if you come to me and say my close friend whomever supposedly cheated on her husband, supposedly was lying about this or saying that or whatever, I'm gonna check you on it. I'm gonna say, wait a minute, I know her and I know her character very well, and that's not true, or I don't believe that. Or even if that is true, what is it that made you think that coming to me and saying this was a good idea, when you know this is someone I care about, when you know this is someone I actually closely associate with? And especially if the messenger is someone that I don't care about or closely associate with, you do realize that I will probably just cut all ties with you at this point, because the person you're talking about, I have an interest in their interest. You, not so much. So if this is going to be a thing where, you want to be negative about them, or present yourself as a potential threat or an enemy or just a source of conflict, I'm just not dealing with you. You're just dead to me. A lot of times, and I've got caught up on this when I was younger too, not so much as technologically advanced, but just in general, people will come to you and say, oh, I seen your significant other such and such with a girl, or, oh, I seen your significant other the other day, or, oh, I overheard that your significant other was doing this. And when people come to me with that, first off, if you're someone not close to me, first thing out of my mouth is, what are your intentions in telling me that? Why would you say that to me? You flip it back on them. And a lot of times they'll say, well, I would want someone to tell me if it was me. Okay, but I'm not you, though. Like, I prefer caramel over chocolate. But I'm not going to go get you a cup of coffee and assume that you feel the same way, that you want a caramel macchiato instead of a mocha latte. You know what I mean? I don't prefer that random people come to me trying to tell me anything that they think is my business. Because whatever's my business, I'm going to eventually find out anyway. And now if people close to me come to me telling me my business, or business that is mine to be had, then I'm always like, okay, well, you saying that, let's say my significant other, well, you've seen him at the movies with someone. Okay, do you have a picture? Did you make a little video? Like, is there any validation that you can provide to what you're saying? First off. Second off, do they know that you're saying this? No? If they were sitting here with me, would you say this? No? Okay. And I leave it alone at that, because really, in these kind of conversations, 9 times out of 10, people want to be entertained. They want something spicy to happen. They want things to get zesty. And when you don't give them that, when you flip the tables and make them uncomfortable, then a lot of times they will not continue to bother you with this same line of conversation, this same line of interaction, because they see that you're not going to entertain it. You're not. That's not your level of operation. Now, if a close friend of mine came to me and said, "Oh, I seen your significant other with the chick at the movies," of course, my first thing is, where did you take a photo? Is there a video? What evidence do you have of that? Oh, you don't have any evidence? You're just telling me because you're actually my friend, you care about me, and you want to give me a heads up on what I'm dealing with, which may be a legitimate statement. Although everyone's going to say that, even people who don't even care nothing about you and just want to start drama. And at that point, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. I might look into it. I might not, whatever. Because whatever I choose to do after that point is not their business to be had. So whether I choose to confront my significant other, whether I choose to cut them off, whether I choose to just be quiet and just keep an eye on things, because now there might be something to keep an eye on, whatever my plan is moving forward, that's between me, myself, and I. And my significant other, when and if, I decide to call them out or confront them or whatever. But I certainly would not be going to my significant other, because I'm a grown woman. I'm 40 years old. I certainly wouldn't go to my significant other and be like, "Oh, someone said that you were at the movies last weekend. You're supposed to be working a double with some girl." That just makes me sound crazy and insecure. One, if I'm wrong, I really sound crazy. And see, I'm a relatively mature person. I like dealing with people on a personal level. They're on my same level of interaction and social development and growth. And so a person on my level would look just as sideways and crazy at somebody for saying that as I would. Now, if this is something where there's proof, then I'm just gonna be like, hey, remember last weekend when you was working at Dope? So now I'm gonna give them room to hang herself. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna be, oh, that's wild, because I heard, and I'm not gonna put the other person's name in it because I'm not messy like that, but I heard you might have been at the movies that day. See what they say. Let them, walk them through digging themselves into a big as lie and hole as possible, so you can see to what degree they will insult your intelligence to get over on you, to manipulate you, to potentially, they're willing to do something that may hurt you. And on top of that, what level will they go to cover it up, which only just digs the hole that for you to know the facts would make your fall even harder. And the reality is, once you've done something that could have hurt me or is likely to hurt me without any regard for my emotions, you didn't come clean to me on your own. I had to find out through the grapevine. And when confronted, you just continued to lie and try to BS your way out of things. I now know that 100% I cannot trust you. And if I can't trust you, whether you're my friend, whether you're a family member, and God knows there are a few of those that I associate with, and not a lot of them don't even want to associate with me. They consider me to be, not as wonderful of people as them. Maybe I'm not as churchy or religious. I'm not even a Christian, so churchy is kind of goofy to say. But maybe I'm not as religious. Maybe they think my personality is a bit much. It makes them uncomfortable, makes other people uncomfortable, so they just don't associate. I mean, when you're a person like me who didn't grow up with close family bonds, and you really kind of get to know your family as an adult, the dynamic is probably very different from people that have more traditional upbringing. So, but whether you're a family member that I actually, there's a mutual love and association with, my friend, my significant other, anyone in my personal circle, if you show me that I can't trust you, I'm either going to cut ties altogether, or you now got booted into that majority group of people I know. The people that, we might be friendly, but when it all comes down to it, we're really not friends. Those are the people that you go, oh, did you tell them that you thought you saw them? If they was sitting here, would you say that? Those are the people, those are the people you hit with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because really, it's better for them to weed themselves out. I mean, when people find, a lot of people, especially people that don't care about you, will try to place themselves in a position to be in your business in the hopes of getting something zesty out of you, some kind of response or crazy talk that they can then go spread amongst the other folks they associate with. That's what they do. A lot of people like chickens. They just all day. You don't want to be one of those people, first off. Second off, you don't want to tell those people any of your business. Heck, the people that are super close to me often don't know much of my business, other than what they need to know, what's applicable to my relationship with them. And it's not because I trust absolutely no one, but it's, I'm a person who weighs, the potential collateral damage, the potential damage of someone knowing something versus their need to know it. And if the reality is there's no actual need for you to know something, and you knowing it could create harm or damage or drama, why would I tell you? I'm the type of person, when I have had to end friendships, over the years because they were one-sided, the friendships I ended, there was very little the other person had leverage-wise, other than something they might make up, that I have to worry about. Dang, we're not friends no more, so, my business might get out. Nah. And I like it like that. I sleep better at night knowing that. And so, and you got to mind your own business. I had a situation with one of the fathers of my children. I have 2 children by 2 fathers. My children are 14 years apart, But, where, initially there was some friction with me and one of my children's fathers because, I had a real issue, with the person they were associating with, this person's character, the fact this person was around my child, But at the end of the day, once I got over the emotional hump of processing things, looked at them from an intellectual perspective, the reality is, if something is hearsay, if there's not proof of it, it doesn't really matter when it comes to who other people associate with, particularly if you got a family court case, because one, judges don't want to hear nothing negative about the other parent or their environment unless you have undeniable solid proof. So, there's nothing good to come of me stressing and arguing and going tit for tat with someone, especially someone who I know is temporary in the situation. Let that go ahead, run its course, and be done with. And sure enough, it ran its course. That particular, father of my child and that particular person, are no longer even in contact as far as I know. Now there are other people parading through. But, unless they're harming my child, unless the environment is not conducive to what I want for my child, and I can prove that beyond the shadow of a doubt, and it would be equally as significant to a judge as it is to me, it's not my business. And that's a hard one. I mean, there are a lot of situations in life where if you really are introspective and you really look at it, minding your own business will allow you to have a lot of peace of mind. And sometimes it's going to be very difficult to step back and say, you know what, that's not my business. Because, when it comes to anything that we have an emotional connection with, or any topic or scenario or situation or person, we want to make things our business that aren't our business. And that's very natural, because we're trying to protect the things we love or the people we love, and we're trying to protect our own feelings. But at the end of the day, as an adult, we have to conscientiously identify, without any emotional factoring, with just pure logic, intellect, compartmentalizing things where they need to be. What is our business and what is not our business. And when someone comes to you with some business that isn't your business, you got to shut it down. I mean, I'm not saying I never, ever, 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 ever talk to my best friend about, for entertainment purposes, really, about maybe a situation or person we both know and what the latest is on that. I might do that a little here and there, but, that's something I rarely do, and I only do with a couple people. You know what I mean? It's not my day-to-day conduct or character. But, and anything I say about a person behind their back, chances are I've already said to their face. And certainly, even if I haven't, just because it hasn't happened, I wouldn't mind doing so. And that's another thing too about minding your own business, is it is your business that the things that people know you do, see you do, the things people know you say and hear you say, are things that you're comfortable addressing with the source, with the subject. And if you're not comfortable addressing something with the source or a subject, that's the topic, then you shouldn't be acting or speaking upon it. Because as an adult, that just makes you look messy and weak. And it's not respectable. So, this is my first video on the new channel. I'm so excited about it. But, if you like the video, Is my thumb in there? It's a little tricky. As y'all get to know me, you'll see I'm not very good at this technology thing. If you wanna see more videos, hit subscribe. I would love to hear your stories about situations where you opted to mind your own business, or life would have been better all around if other people would have minded their own business, or maybe what parameters you define your business or other people's business. And if you want to get notifications when new videos drop, hit the dingy bell for notifications. And welcome to my channel. I'm very excited to start this chapter with you and get to know you, and you get to know me, and have an exchange. Let's try to keep it respectful and civilized and cordial at all times. And have a great day. God bless.